Algebra 2, section 3.3 is system of inequalities. So you remember when you had to graph a line and then you had to shade? Well, this is the same thing, but just like we're working with the term system, it means more than one. So you're going to be shading more than one thing, which can get a little bit confusing, but if you do it correctly, then you have shades that overlap. And wherever your shading overlaps is ultimately your answer. So we just take it one at a time. So I'm going to color code it. We're going to do this one in green. So the first one is y equals, so y, because we're going to change it into an equal sign so we can graph it, 2x minus 3, okay? So we're going to start at negative 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go up 2 over 1, right? Because this is 2 over 1. Up 2, 1, 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Is that right? 1, 2 over 1, yes, 1, 2 over. So, and this has greater than or equal to, so that means it's going to be a solid line. Let's make this bigger. Here it is. Okay? And again, we test. So do you remember testing? We're going to test, because 0, 0 is not on the line, we're going to test 0, 0 into the original equation. So this is my x and this is my y. Okay? I'm going to test 0 is greater than or equal to 2x minus, 2 times 0 minus 3. So 0, 2 times 0 is 0, minus 3 is negative 3. Is 0 bigger than 3? Negative 3? That's true. So here's 0, 0. I'm going to go ahead and shade this side of the graph, right? So that should have been review. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing with the next line, but it needs to be on the same graph. So it's basically what we've already doing with all the testing, but we're going to do two inequalities at once. So we have y is equal to negative x plus 3. Okay, so you're going to start at positive 3, 1, 2, 3. And this is a negative 1 in front over 1. So you're going to go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. And this is a what? There's no line underneath, so that means we're doing dash. Okay? Now, what you need to do is you need to ignore this green line and just focus on this. Okay? Now, again, I'm either going to shade this whole side of the purple line or this whole side of the purple line. And we do that by testing. So I'm going to test, because 0, 0 is not on there, 0, 0. So, into our original equation. So this is my x and y. So 0 is less than negative 0 plus 3. 0 is less than 3. The true or false? That is true. So that means I'm going to shade this entire side, this whole side. Now my answer is where they overlap. So you see this right here? This is the area where they overlap. So the brown right here is my answer. Okay? So this part, because there's purple here, yes, but there's no green, and this one only has green. With this one where the green and the purple overlap, that is my answer. Alright? So again, it's something we've already done, except it's two on one graph. So hopefully you were able to understand that, and I color-coded. So go ahead and pause this, write it down, don't forget the vocabulary. Page 132, number 2 is the one you're going to do. Page 132, number 2. There's no really key concept on here. This is just mainly going straight into the problems because we've already kind of been over it. Right? Our next one. This is our last board. This time is a little tricky because they gave you an absolute value. Now we're going to go ahead and graph the first one like normal. So this one is y, we're going to change this into equals. negative x plus 1, right? So that means I'm going to start at 1, positive 1, and we're going to go, this is negative 1 over 1, so we're going to go down 1 over 1, over 1, down 1, over 1. And this has a greater than or equal to sign to it, so it's going to be a solid line. Then I'm going to test 0, 0, because 0, 0 is not on there. So that means I'm going to test it into my original equation. So 0 is less than or equal to negative 0 plus 1. 0 is less than or equal to 1, and that's true. So I'm going to go ahead and shade this side. Okay? The next one is a bit more trickier. Now this line is going to be dashed, okay? But with this one, I'm going to go ahead and change x plus 1 equals 3. And I'm going to solve for x, okay? So that means, remember, I have my two equations. X plus 1 equals 3, and x plus 1 equals negative 3. So remember, again, I have the two equations. X plus 1 equals 3, and x plus 1 equals negative 3. Now I'm going to solve for x. So this is minus 1, so I have x equals 2, and then I'm going to minus 1, and x equals negative 4. Right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and graph these two, and my answer is going to be between that. Remember when we have x equals something or y equals something? It's very important you understand that because you'll hit this in your homework. X equals something or y equals something, that means it's straight. If it's x, it's going to hit straight up and down. If it's y equals just a number, it's going to be straight left to right. So this is x2. Now remember, this is no line, so it's dashed. So it's x. I'm going to find positive 2 right here. So I'm going to go straight down, just like this. Okay? And this one's negative 4, so I'm going to find 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's all my number in between. So what this is saying is my x is between 2 and negative 4. Right? And the answer here is where they overlap. And if you look very carefully, this is where they overlap right here. My brown. Just so you can see. So in your homework, you can go ahead and just shade your answer darker so that you know this is the one that they overlap the most. Right? So go ahead and try page 132, number 4. Page 132, number 4. And see if you're able to solve this one. And then make sure again to do your vocabulary and pause it, and I will pause it and write on the board, and I will see you tomorrow in class.